So as you finish this kind of challenge, you're going to unlock various decks. So the first one you played with was this white deck with white creatures. And as you go through, you'll kind of get to learn what each of these colors does. Each of these colors kind of has an identity. So when we talk about white, white has some good one mana creatures. It has angels and spells and enchantments and auras, etc. Um, Blue focuses on kind of more of a control intelligence game. Blue players often play a lot of instants and they get to draw cards and look at the top cards of their library and things like that. Black has these kind of sacrificial themes surrounding it. Black interacts with the graveyard a lot, so when creatures die, some black cards bring things back. Black has a lot of destroy target creature or target creature loses 2 power, etc. Red tends to deal with a lot of um, direct damagey spells, small, fast creatures. When we talk about aggro decks, decks that go fast, red is often a color that's talked about. Red can have spells that damage your life directly, etc. And green has this nature kind of mana production, what we call ramp kind of identity. Green has some of the biggest creatures and these big like 8/8s and 10/10s, etc. But to get there, they cost a lot of mana. So green has cards that help you produce additional mana and creatures that help you produce additional mana. And what's interesting is as you learn and grow, you might make decks that are combinations of these colors. You might play green red, or you might play a deck that's blue black, or white and blue, and these kind of give your deck a very different feel. And as we go through, we'll kind of learn about that. But as you walk through this tutorial, there's a few things you could have picked up on, which were the notion of auras and enchantments, attaching those to creatures to make them more powerful. Instance, having your opponent cast something on your turn. So it's my turn and I'm going to attack, but my opponent does something to destroy my attacking creature. And that's what's called at instant speed or casting an instant. You familiarize a little bit with different keywords. So creatures with flying, creatures with reach. You learned about the reach keyword. You learned about flash, which meant you could actually cast a creature on your opponent's turn. So it's my opponent's turn, but I could flash in a creature. We saw that in some of the matches here where our opponent was flashing in creatures to block. We also learned about some effects like enter the battlefield. And there are a lot of different effects. For example, when this creature enters the battlefield, when this creature dies, when a card is put in your graveyard, etc. And there are various cards that have effects that happen when a certain trigger triggers them. So these decks are now yours to play with. And as you go through, what we're going to do in the next video, we're going to talk about the color challenge. But you can kind of read through this, and it kind of gives you the a little bit of the theming around the various decks. And what you can do after that is you can jump into the color challenge. Now, I'm not going to play every color challenge on video, but these color challenges, they can be very, they're a good way to familiarize yourself with the various colors and the identity of these colors. So, as you can see, they put you right into the color challenge from here. You have home. And when you go through the color challenge, a lot of new things are going to happen. But we have kind of the various aspects up here of Magic the Gathering Arena. I'm not a huge fan of the interface. It's a little clunky at times, but essentially we have our home, and this will kind of show us our quests, and you'll have various quests pop up here. We have our profile. We have all our decks. So if we wanted to make new decks, we can make them here. So you'll notice all of these are locked. We have packs. When we earn packs from winning games and events, we can do that. If you do want to pay to play, there is a store where you can buy some cosmetics, you can buy packs to open, etc. And you can buy gems, which is the premium currency. So you'll see here featured where they have sales on different things. You'll see gems, which is one of the pay to play currencies. Um, you have your packs. I don't recommend just buying individual packs. There are better ways to kind of spend your stuff. Various cosmetics here. They also have various bundles. If you are a new player, Some of these bundles are not bad. Where are they? I don't know if they have them, but there's usually a little bundle that's like $4.99. Um, and it just gives you like some gems and other stuff like that. You have sleeves, which is the sleeves for your deck, and these are all cosmetics. You really don't need to spend money on those if you don't want to. They're little pets here. But eventually, when you get into it, your gold and your gems are what you're going to be using to enter these various events. But let's go and jump into one of the color challenges, and I'll show you that. So when we hit play, there are various things here. So there are events. There's your play here. You could play against a bot. And there's your last played section. So if you normally play like sealed, you'll see that here. If you normally play draft, you'll see that here. So we'll jump into the color challenge. And this color challenge is you have the option of playing various colors. And we'll play green because I think green has some interesting ones. But you can play all of these colors, and there are 5 matches. And through each of these, you can upgrade your deck. So see if we win this match, we're going to get a Sentinel Spider and a Rampaging Brontodon added to our deck. So let's go ahead and play the green deck here. And it follows the same principles. As you play with these decks, you're going to learn more about various keywords. If you saw in the Raging Brontodon, there was a trample keyword. Um, so trample. There's also these tap abilities. Some creatures, this is a 1/1 for 2 mana, 1 and a green. But it's not a creature that's meant for combat. This is meant to add mana to your pool. So what we're going to do is play our forest, and then it's going to automatically pass to our opponent. And they play a Sacred Cat. So we're going to play this forest, and we're going to drop one of our Elysian Caryatids. Caryatid? Elysian Caryatid. I think that's it. So it is summoning 6, so we can't tap it for mana. And here we could block, but that would be a bad idea. This creature's purpose is to generate mana and ramp us, get us going on big mana. So we're going to choose not to block here and take the 1 damage. So now, because we can tap this for mana, we actually can cast one of these Baloth Pack Hunters, which is a 3/3 Trampler. And when it enters the battlefield, we put 2 1/1 counters on each other creature you control named Baloth Pack Hunter. So this particular one here is going to be 3/3 with Trample, but the next one we cast is going to beef this guy up. So here's another mechanic that's new. We are going to cast this one here, and you're going to see that when it enters the battlefield, it's going to put +1/+1 counters on the creature. So this was normally a 3/3, now it's a 5/5 because it's got 2 counters on it. We'll also cast our other Caryatid here. Now, attackers, we got to determine whether we're going to attack. So we have a 5/5, and they have quite a few blockers. They can deal 3, 4, 5 damage, but they're going to lose 3 creatures for our 1. So we are going to attack here. Okay, so this is a 3-for-1 trade, and because they're blocking with multiple, we get to choose the order of damage, but we're going to deal 5, so we can deal 2 here, 1 here, 2 here, and we're going to kill them all. The order can be relevant against certain decks, if you think they're going to pump a creature, if you think they're going to deal damage to you beforehand, so you might want to order things in a way where you're going to actually kill the things you want to. But you'll see that we have 5 mana here. But because we have these 2 Elysian Caryatids, they can actually add more mana for us. So we can actually cast this spell. And this is a 7/7 Trample. So what Trample means is if I were to attack with this Trampler and he blocks here, he's going to block 1 damage and the remaining 2 will go to the Planeswalker. If a creature does not have Trample, that doesn't happen. So you could attack your opponent with a 20/20 and they could block with a 1/1 creature and you won't do any damage to them, which is why Trample is a really good effect, especially on big creatures. We're going to attack with these 2. And you'll notice a trigger that just happened. So we'll read it. Whenever Rampaging Brontodon attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each land you control. So this is a 7/7, but when it attacks, it is going to get plus one for each land. And I currently have 7. So we're going to play this Pack Hunter, and that's going to trigger and put counters on this one. And we're going to keep these back because we want them to. Well, actually, at this point, we could send everything in because they only have 1 blocker. So we're just going to send everything in, even these little guys. So the opponent can only block 1 of our creatures, and then he's going to take damage from the rest. So what you want to do is you want to work through these color challenges. As you go through them, what's going to happen is um, as you win, you're going to get your deck upgraded. So you'll notice that it kind of took some of these cards out and it added this 3, 4, 5 mana creature that's called converted mana cost. So this is 3 and 2 green, so 5 converted mana cost. And it's a 4/4 creature, which is 4/4 is a decent body. And it has vigilance and reach. So vigilance means it doesn't tap to attack, which can be very relevant. And reach means it can block flyers. So anyways, you're going to keep going and you're going to upgrade your deck and you're going to go through these color challenges. And you want to do that for each color. You're going to play green, you're going to play white, you're going to play black, blue, and you're going to go through and you're going to determine kind of what fits your play style. Do you like the green ramp into big creatures? Do you like the black destruction and sacrifice and graveyard themes? Do you like the blue control-y kind of aspect? Do you like the white like angels and auras and enchantments? So there are various identities to these colors, and it's cool what happens when you mix some of them. So anyways, that's a little bit on the color challenges and what you're aiming to do, and a little bit about the interface. So yeah, get to tinkering. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the little bell so you get notifications on new videos. If you have any comments, questions, etc., leave them down below, and I will be glad to help out. See ya later.